My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Dually. Have I now done as many Dually episodes as I've done on the other characters? That's probably a better question for me than for you. Let's call it rhetorical for the moment then. Weaponized core. So the weaponized core, if I end up putting it all the way over on the other side, is basically the same as the core. Is it? Let's quickly check. So if I were to use the core, so we have armored core, no beta, combat core, no. I'm looking for the core. Okay. The core and weaponized core, they both scale for the same damage. So the core would give me the ability to charge another item more quickly. Weaponized core would give me the ability to scale other weapons in the early game. Because I didn't really use the weaponized core last episode, I did pick it. I just didn't... Are you going to give me DJ Robot again? You're really going to do that to me? There's Big Bulldozer. Can't afford you though. Weak point detector. Every 6 seconds, your weapons gain 6 damage with a fight. When you slow, charge this 2 seconds. Yeah, you know what? Let's get some slow and weapon scaling on board with this. Let's do that. That seems like it could be fun. Slowing. Now, Kyver Drone, you do have a stinger, which gives us the ability to slow, as well as trained the skill. When you slow, a random weapon gains 5 damage for the fight. You've also got Lanshan, but don't give me that. Eagle Talisman, Insect Wing, Trained, or Stinger, each and all of them I would love to have. At the moment. We'll be able to win this fight, even though the enemy has their lifesteal and they've got the Lanshan going off. I mean, the Stinger has been the recipient of the additional damage every time, which is really good for them. But I'll still win the fight. Cool LEDs would be an incredible pickup for us. We did get the Stinger! Oh, that's so good! JJ, you sell items, we could study for a single experience, which is the same, basically, as going to the Strange Mushroom for a single experience, which I kind of do want a single experience. The faster I can get more items on the board, the more slow triggers I can pack onto a board. A lost crate, so that I can actually field it? Hell yes. Core's cooldowns reduced by 5%, some sharpening stones, upgrade the core. So the core would have additional damage that way, but it would also give additional damage to the Stinger. The Stinger only activates every 9 seconds. So I don't think it's that good for speeding up the core, but for having lifesteal, that would be great. Let's upgrade that core. Tempioso. So I've got lifesteal, but the lifesteal kicks in after scaling. You missing something, buddy? Oh, they're perfectly set up for the weapon they don't have yet. I don't think I'm gonna lose this one, actually. Stinger slows an item, speeding up the weak point, or it would've. Or it would've. Do I have enough money to go to Sterling? But I do. Finn's Big Bite. I don't actually have anything that I field with Finn's Big Bite. Let's go Sterling again. You are kidding me. I don't want DJ Robot again. I just did that. There's a small friend there as well. No, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna roll. When this is hasted, it gains 2 burn for the fight. Remote control, use the core. Use the core, Luke. Armory to gain a weapon, Pip with bronze tier skills. Curio sells bronze tier junk items. There are bronze tier junk items that would be actually really good. Proboscis would be incredible, as it would scale its damage from weak point detector and weaponized core, and it would do damage every time I slow. That said, I don't have that much money. I'm gonna get a weapon. It's a force field. That's perfect. Force field sells for 3. So instead of spending 3 money there, I got 3 money there. Now, I was really hoping to see the giant mosquito here, as it would have Amber as well as Proboscis. Amber being every 5 seconds, slow 9 for 3 seconds. Your other items have +1 slow. They also have Rush and Insect Wings. They're a really good set there. Other than that, Covetous Thief, not really relevant to us, and Rogue Scrapper, completely fine. Rogue Scrapper's best tool for us, actually, would be Rust. The ability of Rogue Scrapper, which is literally at the start of the fight, slow an item for 3 seconds. I do believe, however, with Weaponized Core and Stinger giving Lifesteal and Weak Point Detector going off as well, I do believe I'll win the fight. I've got to start getting some additional max HP though, because the more max HP I have, the far longer I'm going to have to actually scale into the position that it's pretty difficult for the enemy to beat me. Which we are pretty comfortably in at the moment. Thank heck the weaponized core went off there. I did not expect that to be as close as it was. Ginolabar, when you sell a tool, gets +1 max ammo, and he's here for some small item sales. Snack time? I wish it was snack time. 50 max HP? I really take that right now? I'm gonna go for the small item. Cool LEDs is such an insanely good pickup for us. Adjacent items have their cooldowns reduced by 6% and burn both layers for 2 every time you use it in the thrusters. Alpha Ray? No, when you use the core or another ray, your weapons gains 3 damage for the fight. It is weapon scaling, but isn't Alpha Ray broken? Someone said that Alpha Ray doesn't charge other rays. I imagine Alpha Ray itself is working, though, for being charged by other things. It just doesn't charge other rays. I mean, I could field that. And especially with a remote control, it wouldn't be bad. All right, I'll take Alpha Ray and roll. Memory card. When you sell this, give the core plus damage equal to this item's value.
Buyer's remorse never. Be remorseless.
Not bad. Upgrade your leftmost bronze tier item. I don't think Stinger is ever getting an upgrade here. I don't think it's good enough. Now let's confirm that to be the case. Stinger. Yeah, it gets an additional second of slow, and it gets 5 additional damage for its first upgrade. That just doesn't seem to be worth it. That said, Alpha Ray definitely seems like it could take it. And Alpha Ray's damage, it itself does not need to scale damage. It giving faster speed to the weaponized core is definitely going to be better. Upgrade your leftmost bronze tier item. I could use that to upgrade memory card. So it would gain, or rather the core would gain damage equal to 2 times the value of the memory card when I sell it. No, it's Alpha Ray. Especially because I've got the core and I've got remote control using the core, so I'm double dipping on Alpha Ray's upgrade a lot. So instead it'll be giving me +6. It's very early. Getting 1 income is pretty good at this point. That said, Monster Loot. Monster Loot's always good. I could get silver? Yeah, let's go for the silver Monster Loot. 2 silver Monster Loot items, and it's the worst case scenario. Burn and Poison, which I don't have access to use. Oof. I agree! It's exactly the state I'm in. Monitor Lizard and Companion Core. I mean, they haven't got a lot of poison, but they do have poison, which is pretty scary. I've got some really good damage scaling on field, though. And I've got my lifesteal. The only problem is my lifesteal weapon also is incredibly slow. But it's certainly fast enough. Zara sells haste and charge skills, which are some of the most important skills in the game. Alia sells weapons. So I could get a weapon. I think haste and charge skills are too important.
People think the body powers the mind, but it's the other way around.
When you use a non-weapon item, a weapon gains haste for a second. I will have non-weapon items in this field. First time you freeze each fight, haste your items for 3 seconds. Invigorating Cold is insane. All I have to do is get some freeze activator, and suddenly my entire run like takes off like a bullet. However, I have 5 here. Extract, Cinders, Gianola, that's 5. And then Memory Card, which I could sell for another 2. All of that gets me Mixed Message, which is the ability to pass haste it back and forth consistently to my weapons, which are my slowest items, the Stinger and the Weaponized Core. Alpha Ray will get it occasionally, but I don't want that.
Space and time are only suggestions, and we can ignore them.
Utility box gives a small tool, which is exactly what I want. Give me cool LEDs. Or upgrade the remote core so it takes 2 seconds less, please. Oh man, this is going well. Scout Trooper, you care about slowliness. I'm pretty sure I can beat you. You've even got a bronze weak point detector. Uh-oh. Yeah, yikes. My Stinger was just way too slow. I got way too cocky there. I should have recognized that. I knew I was I knew I was going to be too slow for that fight. Oh, sure. I'll take a Gianola bar. Slow-mo Lumbra. You sell slow skills. I desperately want those, but I can't afford them. I'm gonna borrow to get 7 gold at the cost of 1 income there, because I desperately need to just have some speed. I need some more money. This build has like a nice cohesion to it, but the problem is it's very slow. Yeah. To be expected with a katana hitting every 2 seconds, and it's hasted. So it's even faster than that. 4 gold. I'd go for income if I could right now. I want to take the 4 gold. I think I just desperately need some money. Alia sells weapons, lost crate, abandoned chest, small non-weapon item. Alia, sell me a weapon that's worth a damn.
But I can help you finish a fight.
Pulse rifle. +1 multicast if it's adjacent to a friend, and double it if you're only friend.
Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me.
That would be great for scaling off the damage of other things. I just have to have a friend that I can scale it with now. Race car. When you haste, which is to say when we use a non-weapon item, charge this 2 seconds. I'm about to take all of my slow off the field if I take the Stinger off, though. Power Drill, when you haste, slow, freeze, burn, or poison, charges for a second. Like if I sold Gearnola Bar, or rather took Gearnola and Stinger off the field to put Race Carl on, every time I use a non-weapon item, a weapon gains haste. I only have Remote Core and Weak Point Detector as my non-weapon items. I still think it's probably a good idea.
Be proud.
Especially because the Pulse Rifle is going to have its triple strike. Artisan Dunes. Or 100 HP. 100 HP is really good. Artisan Dunes would be basically 10 additional damage on the Pulse Rifle. I'll take the snack time. Give me 100. Now, Deadly Crooner. You've got Holiday, a cooldown of 6 seconds for a multi-cost of 2. That's pretty relevant to a board state like this. Maybe. Retiree, you're entirely focused on healing. Not a thing that we really have access to in our kit. Boiler and Brawler, when you haste, shield 10. That's pretty impactful. And when you use a tool, adjacent items get 5% crit chance. I'm gonna go for the Deadly Crooner. I really wish I could justify going for the Boiler and Brawler, but the only one I really care about there is Time to Tinker when you haste shield 10. I can't afford to give up money or experience here in the early game, especially considering I already gave up some money and experience by trying to take out the Rogue Scrapper in a position where I couldn't do that. Great damage from the Pulse Rifle there. Really proving it's worth its weight. Scrap! I'd love to sell that for something. Kina sells non-weapon items. Monster Ranch. There are so many good things at the Monster Ranch, though. Alright. Alright. Ooh! And so there are. Another 12, so I can give 28 shield to something as soon as I field it. I'm not giving it to Gearnola Bar. Gearnola Bar only has 2 ammo at the moment. However, Feather is 6% cooldown reduction for the entire board, and I can just give it that right now. Duct Tape would be incredible. Obviously, it itself slows, but also it could go between the Pulse Rifle and the Weaponized Core, and if it did, it gets 28 additional shielding. Suddenly I have a shield core online.
Ah, a friend. I mean, a customer.
Miss Isles. When you use the core, reload this. That's gonna be such a better hit than Race Carl will.
So, how about this weather where... Oh,
Our multicast is online. Sharpening Stone for some additional damage. Cooldown reduction, cinders. I'm gonna go for the income right now because I am really, really lacking in that. I'm gonna hit the 6% cooldown reduction for the entire board as well because I think that's really relevant. All right, Yun. So instead of scaling my items by using... Ooh. Crusher Claw deals damage equal to the highest shield value you have, which is the silk there. Woof. That's a lot of damage, buddy. It's enough damage to kill me in 2 shots. My damage is scaling up, but I don't think I'm going to get there in time. Damn. A gold silk at this point. I gotta say, you're doing, that's done well. I can't be too mad about that. I mean, I'm furious. I'm absolutely stamping and hooting and hollering. But I can't be too mad about it. It's like they earned that. And he sells small items. I'd happily replace Pulse Rifle with Duct Tape. Missiles will happily end up doing all of the damage that I need. So getting the defensiveness on fields and some additional space would be lovely. That said, fighting a monster so that I can try and get back ahead of the experience and stuff? Oh no, that's not happening here. I need to be able to shield and I can't shield? Oh my god!
Extinguished.
I didn't think there was a single chance the pulse rifle was just enough we got over the core. Got over there, rather. Magma core. When you use the core, does magma core count? It doesn't. At the start of the fight, burn 9, the magma core is never used. Gorgon Noble, I scale damage fast enough that I do think I would be able to take you. Preening Duelist, though. All talk, when you have more than half health, your weapons have plus 25 damage. That's nice for the early scaling here, but realistically, it's Gorgon Noble. Infernal Envoy does have Vengeance. Your left and rightmost items have their cooldowns reduced by 5%. That's pretty good. But the rest of it is related to burn and not really that relevant to us. Alright, Gorgon Noble. This Basilisk Fang over here is actually just a really good weapon. Every 3 seconds, it hits for 10 damage. Lifesteal. It also has other text, presumably, but I've never bothered reading that, because it's not that relevant. We got Big Froze. And then come back and strike with a bunch of damage. Trained Spider. When you sell this, your leftmost poison item gains +2 poison. Upgrade your leftmost silver tier item. I gotta hit that alpha ray with another upgrade. It's my main scaling at this point. Midsworth sells small and large items. Simon sells skills unique to Dooley.
Hardware? Software? What's the hack today?
It's hard to ever turn that down when it turns up, especially because it has heavy machinery. When you use the core, haste an item for 4 seconds. I use the core constantly.
I've been writing some new hover algorithms. Wanna see?
Curio sells bronze tier junk items. And I just need some shielding, realistically. I'm gonna go to the docks. I'm gonna work to get 2 gold and a shield item. Security camera, that's not a shield item you can really field, though. T. Jason fan? I'm a big fan of T. Jason, too. No clue who they are. But how could you not be? Ooh, Landscraper, you've got a yo-yo between that and a bushel. Ooh, wait! This is doing a big Malian build. You're telling me it's not dead? Sharp corners. When you shield, your weapons gain 3 damage for the fight. Got some additional scaling on the yo-yo from that. You are now dead as a result of my damage, but maybe the build is still real. I absolutely have to go to the eating contest, and I absolutely will pay the full 10. And this time I'm going to Andy looking for small items. Please give me the duct tape.
Step toward good taste.
Chris Army knife. Not really the kind of thing I'm looking for here. There's plasma grenade. Burn both players for 5 and slow all enemy items by 1. Honestly, not an awful pickup. That's a lot of slow triggers. That's a lot of scaling from the weak point detector suddenly. If the weak point detector goes off twice, that's also 2 seconds of haste to other items. Yeah. Soldering gun. This has +1 multicast if it's adjacent to a friend. And +1 multicast if it's adjacent to a tool. I'm selling the pulse. Well, I don't even need to sell the pulse rifle. I'm gonna buy that and the Omega Ray. So every 5 seconds is multicast for 3, giving it not the same speed as the pulse rifle, but certainly close. And then the Omega Ray also happens once every 6 seconds. They're not scaling in damage from the weak point detector. However, this will give me a really significant amount of burn damage on the enemy as well. I would not at all be surprised if this build was capable of taking down the Lich. Dire Mosquito, however, has heat. Neural Toxin especially. When you use an adjacent weapon, slow an item for a second. Yeah. So this is a small tool. When it activates 3 times, it's activating 3 seconds of haste in individual allotments of 1 to other items. Proboscis, when you slow, deal 6 damage. Give me 3 loot items, why don't you? The 4% cooldown reduction to the board? Don't mind if I do. Tox Clock sells haste, slow, and cooldown items. I'm just gonna present the slow as intentionally as I can. Induction Aegis is not a slow item. Please stop trying to tell me it is, game. I'm almost certain it's not. GPU fan, give the GPU 5% crit chance for the fight when you have burn, decrease this item's cooldown by 50%. Unfortunately, none of those are really that relevant to us. I'll hit up Kina here.
The peaceful, punish the warful.
I don't want Gianola to be how I play. I have to buy and sell tools in order to try and increase its value. No.
I suppose you'll go buy a weapon instead.
I'm gonna get the cooldown reduction for the board. I'm seeing a lot more Pygmalions today than I've seen on many recent days. Also, significantly fewer monitor lizards. I wonder if the... is the world's healing? That's so much burn.
I could see you're going places, but
That is truly so much burn we stack on the enemy there. Oh, yep. Paul sells large items, and there's a couple of hits in there, actually. Let's think about it for a second. So Paul could give me Pylon, which is every 3 seconds, slow an item. And also, when you slow an item, give an item haste. If I did that, which of these do I even take off board? I guess maybe weak point detector, but that's also what benefits from my slowing. Let's get rid of the Gianola bar and the pulse rifle here. And if I found Pylon? I mean, that's a way to get haste to the entire board, but I really feel like between mixed message and heavy machinery, I don't need that. What I need is more max HP. What I need is upgrades on weak point and missiles. Weak point mainly. I'm gonna go to the docks and work for a shield item again. Oven mitts. When you burn, shield 5. When you burn, haste an item for a second. You know what? Alpha Ray is giving me all of my damage scaling. I don't actually need the weak point detector. Because if I field that, now when I burn, I shield for 33. And when I burn, I hasten item for 1 second, which the soldering gun is doing. But hang on, there we go. I'll put a tool on your other side and we're good again. Everything's right with the world and everything's coming up Millhouse. Chili Charles is here to try and stop us. The thug still has bonk. No one stopped the thug from bonking. Chili Charles has free synergy that I don't want. Viper, when you poison, no thank you. Alright, yeah, no, I was looking for an excuse to fight the thug. Thank you for giving it to me. Oh my god, the soldering gun got the full haste. Yep, so the oven mitts is giving us a pretty reasonable amount of shielding here from our burn triggers. Junkyard Club, sell this to give all of our weapons 6 damage. Nothing wrong with that. Do I even want a shield item at this point? Cinders for plus burn? No, the scaling for burn comes online pretty early anyway. I don't need the cinders to do that. Gin Oliver, welcome back to my field. I'll get rid of you as soon as I can, don't worry. Kina, you sell non-weapon items.
Counts for peace.
The Omega Ray scaling increase. Love it. 2 to 3 burn every time I use a core or another ray, but the alpha ray doesn't count as another ray for the sake of that, but it's fine because I use the core not only once but twice with the core remote control. Light bulb. Every 3 seconds adjacent items gain 6% crit chance for the fight. There's a security camera and a balloon bot. Not interested in any of those. Aerodrome. Snack time for 200 HP is actually really appealing here. Pearl could find any item in the Bazaar, but there's a lot of items that have no real... don't help us at all. Aerodrome, we could go anywhere. Nah, I gotta look at the aerodrome. Friend items, not that relevant to us. Large items? When you burn haste. No. Well, actually... If I found a solar farm and took Alpha Ray and missiles off the field and focused entirely on Omega Ray's scaling, that'd actually be pretty good.
Lithic buckets, just straight boulders. This is more fun.
We find Big Bulldozer, the forklift, and bunker, but none of those are actually what we're looking for. That's fine. I could have taken missiles and Alpha Ray off the field to put Pylon on. Not Pylon, sorry. The other one. Solar Farm. Solar Farm says when you burn, charge this item 2 seconds. Its base cooldown is 6 seconds long. I would still have a weapon on the field because the weaponized core would be my weapon. I'd have Soldering Gun and Omega Ray as my scaling. And between Oven Mitts and the Solar Farm, I would have perma haste on all of my items, and it would be really difficult to get through my shielding from the oven mitts. I actually think I'll go back in that direction as soon as I'm offered the ability. For the moment, though, I'll run this hybrid build. This build where I do damage and burn, rather than just relying on one of them to do the other. Uh-oh. This enemy is getting a lot of shielding and fighting very quickly, and my burn is not scaling fast enough to do anything about it. That's a diamond armored core. Midsworth has small and large items. There's chocolate bars for the HP that I keep asking for. Small and large items, though, can hit. We're pretty soon gonna get to the point that chocolate bars aren't worth it anymore. Oh, there it is! Solar Farm! Every 6 seconds, give your other items 1 second of haste and gain 4 regeneration for the fight. There's also Marmosaur here, which actually, this is really early to see Marmosaur. When you destroy an item using combat, during combat rather, your dinosaurs permanently gain 25 damage, and the Marmosaur itself deals 200 damage, and if your enemy has 5 items, destroy a small or a medium. I'm gonna...
Happy to exploit you. I mean help you.
I lose a multicast from Soldering Gun, which is no longer adjacent to a friend. Takes a lot of haste out of our build, actually. I think this is better, but I'm not certain. First Aiden, I could try and field instead of the remote core to get the additional multicast on Soldering Gun, as well as this activates 2 times before the weaponized core ever activates. So, it actually probably is a good idea.
I've got 4 legs because I carry this company.
Oh, hang on. No, that's my only tool as well. Oh, dear. Okay. This is less good than I thought it would be, but say la vie. Let's go to JJ.
Profit 10.
Bomb Squad, when using adjacent friend, we don't really do friends in this house. Rocket Launcher has the ability to hit for a bunch of burn. Cool LEDs, that's for the slowing that I gave up. Oh boy. All of this is because I wanted shielding on the field and I put oven mitts on. I'm gonna buy cool LEDs.
Come back for a refund.
Here's the reason. I feel like if this reveals itself to obviously be much worse than I'm expecting it to be, because I only have 3 burn triggers. They will haste the weaponized core, and the weaponized core will haste other items, but that's not a lot of burn triggers. So the oven mitts are suddenly not shielding us for that much, and the haste it's providing is already double provided by the solar farm. So suddenly we're starting to think about whether or not I'm supposed to take cool LEDs and weak point detector back onto the field, and that for this as my build. In which case the Omega Ray is no longer actually giving us any additional burn scaling that we care about. And we'd put these back on board. So our damage comes out of missiles, attacking constantly. Proboscis is here. I can even put Proboscis on the other side. to get powered up by the weaponized core because it never activates. It's never used. It triggers. Two different things. So it'll trigger its effect, but because it's never used, it won't ever contribute towards the weaponized core. So instead, it might as well gain damage from that. And then Alpha Ray, weaponized core, the remote control, they're all charging the weaponized core to buff the proboscis. When the weaponized core goes off, it slows. When it slows, it charges the weak point detector for another item that is a non-weapon item being used. I actually think this is probably significantly better than this this burn build. Especially because this proboscis will activate every time I use the weaponized core. Because I'm slowing. Obviously, the cool LEDs will immediately trigger. And when the cool LEDs are used by themselves, it'll activate on that as well. And when the remote control is used, it'll activate again. I'm thinking Burninator Bot, who does have a golden weak point detector as well as Pylon. For when you slow Haste an item for 2 seconds. Infernal Frigate does have more burn-related stuff if I wanted to go back in the other direction than Cosmic Rock. You know what? Burninator Bot, why don't you tell me what build I do? Might you be the arbiter of it? I'm sick of making all the decisions in this run. I mean, Proboscis doing damage. Thermal Lance, when this is hasted, against 4 burn for the fight. Honestly, no. No, and also, L. And also, haha, and also I don't care. Am I really gonna sell something I've invested so heavily into? I don't think the weak point detector is incredible. I think I could do that. I think I could do that and it would be completely fine. Weak point detector is giving 6 damage to my weapons for the fight when it works. The Alpha Ray is giving 9 when I use another ray or itself. Sorry, not or itself. Another ray or the core, which is happening constantly. I don't think the weak point detector keeps up pace with that. I think I have enough sources of haste that even if I was doing a full burn build, Solar Farm doesn't make it back on field. Upgrade the core, nothing wrong with that. And especially not when it comes out to be the one you really want. Kina sells non-weapon items, Barkun sells medium and large. I would still love to see duct tape. Duct tape would be incredible. Oh, Solar Farm, great, I've been waiting for... Kidding, obviously. Capacitor charges adjacent items for a second. Thrusters for cooldown reduction 12%. Chrono barrier increases enemy item. I mean, I've already lost my shield.
You're listening to
My scraps, sadly.
I guess.
Get a friend. I've been waiting for the day. I'll go to Pearl's dig site and see if I can just suddenly find something absurd. Vineyard. Heal equal to this item's value at the start of each hour. This gains 1 in value. When you use another item, charge this for 2 seconds. Honestly, not awful. I just don't think it can go on this field. Right? Dishwasher hastes tools for a second, and my weapons would gain 10 damage for the fight. No, I don't think Vineyard can go on this field. Toxic Beta Ray. Freeze a small item for 3 seconds. Poison for 3. And when you use the core or another ray, charge this for 2 seconds. Yikes. It gives us the ability to put poison on the field. It gives us the ability to put poison on the field is the big thing. Also, it's freezing an item. I've got enough other rays, and the core is activating constantly enough that it's... Actually, it probably locks enemies down significantly more than having a slow remote control.
That looks like the Cretaceous era?
But I lose another multicast because I don't have another tool. I don't think missiles' damage is what I need here. I think that's what I need. As many item activations as I possibly can put on the left-hand side of the weaponized core. The weaponized core is also triggering the proboscis. It's also triggering the cool LEDs, which is triggering the proboscis. I think this is the board I want to run with for this fight. Ryav? What's the board you're running with?
We're out to dethrone.
I'm gonna guess Lanshan. It's a big Lanshan.
Nobody.
Oh boy, that's not Lanshan. It's a bunch of multi-tools, a duct tape for a bunch of power, as well as a weather glass. Passing haste back and forth between first Aiden and the weather glass. I mean, I've got good damage on my board. But the enemy has Fiery Rebirth. I got through their health bar,
Straight line.
and then they killed me. Enchantment location. Burn! Okay. Okay. So I can get another item to be scaling off the Omega Ray. Let's quickly make sure none of these have a really cool trigger condition. Cool LEDs. So cool LEDs just itself would burn on trigger. That's not good. Alpha burns on trigger. Gamma burns on trigger. Beta burns on trigger. Omega, this has double burn. So the item Omega would burn double. It doesn't say that it would scale double, which would be the important part of that. Remote control, yeah, just burns on trigger. Soldering gun, I imagine, doubles its burn, which is relevant. Proboscis. Proboscis, when you slow, burn 1. Which means that every time I use cool LEDs or weaponized core, which uses cool LEDs, or remote control, which uses weaponized core, which uses LEDs, that would trigger the proboscis to burn. Let's do that. I imagine Oven Mitts doesn't... Yeah, at the start of each fight, burn 12, says Oven Mitts. It doesn't say, when you burn, burn. Weak point detector. No. Just triggers burn. Missiles just triggers burn. And the welding rod. Thermal lance, rather. Thermal lance just has double burn. To be expected. Alright. I can't believe we actually get to use a burning proboscis here. And it actually might be a good idea. Oh, also, I really should have done this earlier. Train Spider and Extract can be sold. They just upgrade the Toxic Beta Ray. Now, Shrouded Figure. Could you give me a bunch of brain stuffs? Yeah, I've got stuff in my inventory to sell. You give me a brain.
If I only had a brain.
2 income. Tools have their cooldowns reduced by 5%. That's not nothing. And in fact, it'll have to be enough right here. Curio sells bronze tier junk items. There's a lot of bronze tier junk items I'd still like to have. But regen 10 is actually probably better. It'll keep me on the field a lot longer. Weapons platform. When you use a large item, haste 2 small items for 2 seconds, says Distributed Systems. Ferris Khan, you do have nothing that I want. Oasis Guardian, similarly nothing I want. Okay, but I think I lose to Ferris Khan, and I think I beat the weapons platform. So let's beat the weapons out of you. Oh yeah. Look at the burn the fiery proboscis is putting on him. Halisander. +9 to adjacent weapon and shields. Items, not really that relevant here. Aerodrome, you can travel almost anywhere. I'm gonna hope that I can find, like, an enchantment location, maybe. Lux sells diamond tier items, but those are still very expensive. Alden sells gold tier skills. Thank you. There's a couple I would love. When you level up, upgrade a bronze tier item. I don't have any bronze tier items. Command ship, if you have a vehicle. Which is a no. Non-vehicle item cooldowns reduced. Heavy machinery. Haste a second item for 4 seconds. That's what I want. I'm definitely going into epic battle. I still do really want a duct tape. But I'm going into epic battle. And we get to fight the Oasis Guardian after all. I get to freeze pretty much all of their items and burn the ever-loving hell out of them with a proboscis. A proboscis. A proboscis. Oh! Right. I forgot that we were going for another upgrade here, Harry. So, remote control. You would upgrade to what? How low does your cooldown get? Remote control. 6 seconds. You'd take 2 seconds off of your cooldown. That's very impactful. The weaponized core scaling damage faster on proboscis as well as its own damage being slightly higher. Probably not actually that helpful. The Omega Ray scaling burn faster, definitely. I think more than anything I need to be faster. I'm going to give the remote control this upgrade. Aren't you supposed to be in the warp?
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
Uh-oh. They've upgraded Vengeance. Left and rightmost items have their cooldowns reduced by 15%. I managed to freeze your silencer, but you don't care if your silencer is frozen.
You've got talent. You should put it toward nobler use.
I also appear to have healed somehow. I don't really know how that happened. Hell's dig site, you say?
We've barely scratched the surface of the Outlands.
Oh my god! Duct tape! Oh. Can I actually field it? What a nightmare. After everything I said. Because I just upgraded the remote control. And the remote control does want to stay on field now, but it's the tool that I would have taken off field in order to place the duct tape. Do I want the soldering gun to only activate 2 times, and then I put the duct tape in the position of first aid instead? Like, I do get some shielding from that, but it's not good. Or I could just get 4% cooldown reduction for the board. Honestly, 4% cooldown reduction for the board. I'm just gonna beat you before you can do anything to me. That's my goal. Heft sells burn items, security scent of shield, Finn's big bite.
Good food. Feed
Getting 5 regen and 170 HP? Yeah, we take that. Void Colossus. I have to activate so many items. Oh, but your skills would be incredible for me. And they will only destroy my first item in 10 seconds. With the Eye of the Colossus trigger. Well, I say 10 seconds. Both of the Void Rays are going to speed that up, but... You got my... Oh, you got the Omega Ray! That's a lot of my scaling. Anyway, you're dead. That's great. Void Ray. When you shield, this gains 1 burn for the fight. I don't shield. Yeah, that's not actually good for my build. I could try and field that and the you shield. Oh, whoops. Hang on, am I... Yeah, I'm kind of broken here for a second. One sec, I'll get back from the main menu. Yeah, I could try and shield when you burn, increase this item's... when you burn, shields, and then when you shield, +1 to burn. But the thing is, my burn scaling isn't the problem. It's how quickly I kill the enemy. And my burn scaling is much better accomplished by having more items on the field and using the Omega Ray and the Weaponized Core as quickly as possible. Tools have cooldowns reduced, weapons, friends have cooldowns reduced, cinders for additional burn. It's tool cooldown reduction, I think. Soldering gun and the remote control becoming faster is very good. Orion sells tools. Fortis, you sell shield skills. Anything that allows me to shield without using shield, please.
But I'm a shield master.
When you use a weapon, your shield items gain 6 shield for the fight. Suddenly the duct tape's looking a lot better. That's when you use a weapon as well, so it does require the core to be used. First time you use a large item each fight, adjacent shield items. I don't have large items. Burn containment. When you gain burn, so when the enemies burn me, or if I burn myself, but realistically when the enemies burn me. Shield 40. I'll take it.
You wield it well enough. A shield can be its own kind of weapon.
Midsworth does small and large items, but I'm going to sell off the thermal lance here in order to get 2 to 4 max HP, experience rather, and we actually got enough experience for a level up. I'll go for the loot items. Give me some cooldown reduction, please. Crit chance? I mean, 3 poison, 3 regen, nothing wrong with those. I guess crit chance for the core. Is there ever a world where that's actually the correct move? I mean, yes, if this is the correct move, then I should have taken the defensive... I should have not taken the burn containment. Yes. But this gives up a lot of triggers for the sake of the weaponized core. The weaponized core activates so much slower. No, it can't be. I don't think that's correct. Alright, August. If you were named Eggier, I'd tell you you've met the Eggest. But now I have to tell you you've met the Eggeriest. Oh, they actually do have burn. They've also got a lot of it. But they do have burn, which is going to be helpful for me. Thankfully, I managed to freeze their beta ray. I mean, their burn isn't going to help me, but the fact that they do burn means that I am going to get some value out of my burn containment, which, admittedly, I do think probably saved my life there. Nufu? I heard that guy sells skills.
You have at least a grain of wisdom, since you have come to me.
When your items gain freeze, burn 16. When you use a tool, items adjacent to it get plus by crit chance. The soldering gun needs to be adjacent both to the burning remote and first aid, which means it doesn't really give crit to useful items that want crit. When you use a large item each fight, adjacent burn items, poison items gain plus 8 poison for the fight, not relevant. Flashy mechanic, there's frozen flames. When your items gain freeze, burn 16. That's actually not going to help us that much. I'm going to reroll. Anything that makes my build start faster. Or building crescendo. When you use an item, your items gain 10% crit chance for the fight. By base, they have 50% lower crit chance. Very quickly, that will cause all of my items to crit constantly, exclusively. So, we'll do that. Curio sells bronze junk tier items. Higher for a burn item? Or eating contest for health? I still do feel like max HP is the best thing they can get, but it really feels like eating contest is a way to spend a lot of money to get very little max HP comparatively. Flamethrower. Every 6 seconds, do 2 damage. And burn equal to 1 times this item's damage. So the damage scaling would give this a lot of burn scaling. I'll be honest, I don't think I need it. I think the additional... I think that right now we have a build that is capable of doing a lot of things at once, and that the items I have in my inventory represent taking out a bunch of other parts of the build in order to make a strong burn build, while weakening all of the things that make this build strong as it is. Burn is not necessarily what makes this build strong. Burn is good, but so is the damage scaling that triggers every single time I use the proboscis. That's also getting the additional burn scaling. I'm freezing to disrupt the enemy. I'm slowing the enemy constantly. Thank you, cool LEDs. Soldering gun and first aid are delivering. Like first aid is probably the least useful part of this build, but it's a friend and it's next to the soldering gun and it activates constantly. It's very quick. Time for us to fight the Lord of the Wastes. I would happily take Genie's Lamp.
Return to the Bazaar. Do not corrupt us.
Yep. We kill a lot of enemies before anyone does anything, which is pretty good. Yeah, see? 350 max HP is an alternate offer here. Burn items have their cooldown reduced by 3%. Honestly, not that impactful. I'll take the 350 max HP. Enchant an item with haste effects. Oh boy. Oh boy, buddy, oh pal. There's got to be something worthwhile for that. Cool LEDs. I really wish cool LEDs said when you use the core trigger or something like use this item. Sadly, it says when you use the core, slow an item. So it would give me a haste once every 4 seconds. Not great. All of the LEDs will do the same. Remote control, haste an item for 2 seconds. Sure, imagine that would be the case. The soldering, haste an item for a second. I mean, I'm not putting it on proboscis. Weaponized core. Haste 2 items for 3 seconds when I use it. It already hastes 2 items for 4 seconds. Weaponized core would also be the best target for heavy, but if I get heavy, I'll just replace this. All sells large items, jewels. I would love to take a temporary boost. A temporary boost that might get me to my 7th win, another chest. Love it. 527 max HP for the rest of the day, please. Scrub God, you're a couple of victories ahead of me right now. Hopefully your build is petering down while mine is taking off past the stratosphere. I'll soon reach escape velocity. You've got a lot of shielding, I believe, right? Nope, that's damage scaling on the Radiant Combat Core right there. Oops. The enemy, unfortunately, does a lot of damage. I got a lot of burn on you. And it's enough, but oh my god, we were close. 546. Would I have lost that if I didn't take the buff? I think I might have. I'm not certain though. Chocolate bars. I have a lot of money now. Is it time to... time to go just get 150 HP and be like, yeah, okay, cool. It might be. It easily could be. You know what? Curio, show me your bronze tier junk items. Sell this, give you leftmost poison item. Poison. There's burn. I mean, I have no reason to be shy here. Anything that can give me a benefit should be mine. Ooh, improvised bludgeon. Every 7 seconds, slow 2 items for 3 seconds, but realistically, when you sell this, your leftmost slow item gains +1 slow.
Warms my rusty circuits to see that find a home.
Additional slow and cool LEDs, which also triggers the slow when the turbo core is used.
Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything.
I could get Lifesteal Stinger on board, but it's so slow that it really doesn't feel like it's a good choice. Gumballs for not much damage. Some crit chance gumballs, realistically, but we've also got crit chance coming out of the wazoo from Burning Crescendo. All right, JJ's. Show me an item that would impress me. All right, you failed so far. Tesla coil. When you use an adjacent item, charge this 2 seconds. No, I do use adjacent items constantly, but I don't need another weapon triggering, to be honest. Especially if it takes 2 spaces of my board. Crypto, I'll gamble, sure. Bulldozer for friend cooldown, no thank you. Crypto.
Enjoy your purchase.
Lord Arkan would be incredible if it decides to give me Unwavering. When you use an item, shield 40. That would immediately solve the main problem that faces us at the moment. My god, we destroy enemies. Battery every 4 seconds, charge the item left of this for 4 seconds. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but it's not like I'm happy about it either. Optimization, let's upgrade the core one more time, thank you. I'll sell crypto at 14. I'm not going to remember to check it enough, and I'm also not going to spend all of my money before the end of this run.
Hey, little guy.
Simon!
Missed you a lot.
I did miss you a lot. Overclock, the core has its cooldown reduced by 10%, while you have burn, double this effect. There's also Frozen Synapse. When you freeze, haste the core for 2 seconds. I don't want the core hasted. I will have enough haste. Haste comes free. I want cooldown reduction. There is also titanium casing. When you use the core, your shield items gain 20 shield for the fight. Oh god. Really? That actually argues for me to put Oven Mitts back on board. It does. It argues it pretty strongly. Fiery Proboscis, Weaponized Core, and Cool LEDs are a set. They all need to stay on the board at the same time. Realistically, Alpha Ray is giving a lot of damage to the Fiery Proboscis, but I'm mainly using my other cores. Soldering Gun would have to lose a trigger. If I took Alpha Ray and First Aid off the field and put Oven Mitts on, Oven Mitts now, every time I use the core, would get 20 additional shielding. And that 20 additional shielding happens every time I burn. And that burn is triggered every time I slow, as well as every time I use the Soldering Gun. This takes 2 items that are activating quite quickly off the field to replace them with an item that's not activating. But I think this gives us so much more defensibility.
I've been writing some new hover algorithms. Wanna see?
Andy, you sell small items. Why don't you upgrade my raise? Why don't you ever upgrade my raise? Constantly telling me you're gonna upgrade my raise, and you never do. How dare you? Meh. First Aid doesn't need an upgrade. That's not really relevant. Won't change anything.
If you want something big and ugly, go see Pole.
No comment. Soldering Gun. You're activating once less commonly. When you slow burn 1. Okay, Oven Mitts could have a heavy upgrade. When you burn, slow. When you slow, burn, and then pass it back and forth. That'd be great. I do think it fundamentally comes down to our burn scaling. I don't think our damage can scale high enough to win fights at this point anymore. I think it's straight up how much burn can I get on the enemy and how can I survive while I do it. We've got disruption, we've got freeze, we've got burn scaling, we've got shield scaling. All right, Winkelhofen. Which of us is going to end the dreams of the other one? That said, I am fighting your ghost, so I'm not actually going to end your dreams. Which means, well, you might as well give me the run. No! When you use your slowest weapon, freeze a smaller item for 2 seconds. That's all of my items. And they've got a beta ray, and they've got a monitor lizard. Well. You know what? I was pretty proud of our build anyway. I think it went really, really well. I think 7 wins is, again, a win. That counts as a win for me. Oven Mitts and a Fiery Proboscis? A Fiery Proboscis. I am very proud of this. We got some really, really good skills. Like, we didn't have to dig that hard to get enough skills. We got heavy machinery, titanium casing, which it didn't really get to show its value because we got froze to death, but it happens. Mixed message was also really, really early. I like that build a lot. I'm gonna collect my 2 additional chests and tier up to silver. Finally. Ho, 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 ho. For the moment, until I get another 2 chests, that is, for the full open, I'm going to say that my name's Rhapsody, and that the name of the game has been The Bazaar. Top left is the series playlist for all of my content on the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendation is down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting our Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays, out above the thank tier, and a special thanks this episode to Victor, Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.